Hey, so I think I'm live. Welcome to Streaming Tuesdays from the Folk Project of New Jersey. I want to thank Gary Pratt and Kathy Cacavalli, I believe it is. I'd also like to add a thank you to Louise Baker and Bruce Swan of Baker Booking for the connection to this. I'm going to play a few songs. I'm going to tell a few short stories. I do want to thank right off my wife, Angela, who basically puts up with all this songwriting business that I do and has joined me on the ride. To my son, Danny, my daughter, Amelia, and to the rest of my family for lots of inspiration. So I'm going to start with a song from my latest record. These first couple songs are from that. The album's called Love Never Rests. This song is called All We're Hoping For. It's pretty self-explanatory. A little bit of hope is all we're hoping for. Find our way to an open door. Our fingers crossed before all is lost. A little bit of hope is all we're hoping for. Some sign of life is all we're living for. On the losing end of a lopsided score. Getting hard to see or show humanity. Some sign of life is all we're living for. Who feels the loss? Which side will win? Will God absolve all our earthly sins? An honest act of love is all we're longing for. Unchain the prisoners of this war. Free to forgive and at last admit an honest act of love is all we're longing for. A little bit of hope is all we're hoping for. Find our way to an open door. Our fingers crossed before all is lost. A little bit of hope is all we're hoping for. At the end of our rope, under a microscope, a little bit of hope is all we're hoping for. A little bit of hope is all we're hoping for. A A little bit of hope is all we're hoping for. So this is weird, you know, because, I mean, I don't get applause every time, but usually there's a smattering of something or booze or something in between songs to react to from a live audience. During COVID, the lockdown, I was a little more used to this, playing songs and being on live streams. This song is, it's called The Currency of Forgiveness, but it's close to a title track for Love Never Rests, because that title is within this song. But it was inspired by a letter that a friend of mine wrote to a young couple who was about to get married. And it was just a gentle reminder of the things you have to remember to make a long relationship last. Coffee brewed hours before she's awake. Hot water saved for the shower he takes. Drives with no sense of direction. Sometimes accepts a course correction. Listens to the same story told 100 times. Waits patiently at the end of the line. Holding doors, holding tongues. It all evens out when our days are done. Worth all you have and nothing less. All the tears and years that you invest there from the moment you met. No IOUs, no repaid debts, in the currency of forgiveness. An apology long before there's a fight. No admission of who's wrong or who's right. A half-hearted confession from some past life indiscretion. Worth all you have and nothing less. It's a beautiful, complicated mess. Will it all add up to happiness? No IOUs, no repaid debts, in the currency of forgiveness. It's a long haul, there's bumps in the road. It's only heavy if you don't share the load. No regrets, big or small. Always say I love you before nightfall. Worth all you have and nothing less. Life keeps you up at night, but love never rests. Isn't this why you both said yes? No IOUs, no repaid debts, in the currency of forgiveness. in the currency of forgiveness. So I'm going to switch gears, and the next song I'm going to do is actually from an album called The Darkness and the Light. I was a participant in several songwriting workshops over the last few years, and one of them takes place up in Harbor Springs, Michigan, in November. And that's way up north. If you haven't been to Michigan, that's pretty far north in the lower peninsula. Pretty cold, not much to do outside, so we go up there and we're inside and we're writing songs. But the fellow who runs it is a guy named John Lamb. And he gives very long, involved prompts. These are not 1 or 2 word prompts. And this one was really about a long story about changing out light bulbs. And it took a long time to get through the prompt, but basically what I boiled it down to was it's really about changing out old to new. And the light bulbs are just there for a metaphor. So this is called Our Turn to Shine. I'm the last of my kind, an incandescent light from another time. Slow to turn on, I won't last long, sorta like this old song. I'll be replaced by an LED, 820 lumens like a new TV. Find them at Lowe's Home Improvement, part of the next youth movement. Energy efficient for decades to come. By the time it goes dark, I'll be gone. I'm a dinosaur made of glass and tin. Take me out, screw a new one in. But for now, I like the way brighten up your everyday, if only for a short time. It's still my turn to shine. I can chase away the night. I'm the perfect reading light. Whether it's an old newspaper or an Elmore Leonard skater. When I'm done, reuse my glass and those tiny little wires of brass. Can't do much with a broken filament when it's no longer radiant. But for now, I like the way brighten up your everyday, if only for a short time. It's still my turn to shine. Still my turn to shine. I've been flickering for a little while. I'm on my last mile. Let me illuminate your smile before I go out of style. In the days before lamps, we'd sit around the camps, look to the fire for all we desire. Maybe that day will return when all we will burn is ourselves in the sun. We'll let it light our way, brighten up our everyday, whoa, whoa, for the rest of time. It's our turn to shine. We'll let it light our way, brighten up our everyday, whoa, whoa, for the rest of time. Now this is where the audience usually sings, but I'm just gonna do it. It's our turn to shine. It's our turn to shine. You can join in. It's our turn to shine. 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 So I'm sure that by now I can hear my wife saying, "What's your name? Who are you? Where are you from?" I am Mike Ward. I go by the performance name of Mike Ward's Psychosongs, and that's because as a youngster growing up with a really bad Irish temper and playing hockey, my nickname was Psycho Ward. And it just sort of stuck, and Psychosongs was just another part of that kind of stuck. But I'm coming to you tonight from the middle of downtown Detroit, where I live. And I live in a historic building where Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera lived when he painted the murals here at the Detroit Institute of Arts. So it's got historic significance. And I'm not that old, but I'm almost that old. But I'm gonna keep playing songs from The Darkness and the Light right now. I'm gonna do a song called Content, and it has been introduced in the past by some people as content. But it is content. And it's not about being content with your life today here on this earth. It's about how are you going to be remembered, how are you going to feel about yourself, about how you're remembered when you leave this place. So this is content. Caught a cold when I wasn't even chasing it. Saw the light when I wasn't even facing it. Found myself when I wasn't even lost. Built a bridge that I still have never crossed. Trying to escape without really ever leaving. I was telling the truth while make-believing. Harder I look at things, seems the less I see. When searching for a forest, all I found was a tree. It's a simple life in a complex world. I want what's mine and you want what's yours. But when you're all by yourself and the money is all spent, are you gonna leave this world completely content? Used to sit in a cube trying to think out of the box. If I only knew more about bonds and stocks. I'm on the fence between the future and the past, watching time pass slowly, but I think it's gaining fast. Sometimes I wish that I had smoked more dope, read more books and maybe used less soap, gone to sleep later, planted more trees. Learned a language to say fromage instead of cheese. It's a simple life in a complex world. Want what's mine and you want what's yours. But when you're all by yourself and the money's all spent, are you gonna leave this world completely content? whether it's a paradox or a paradigm, a pair of twos or a pair of nines. A full house beats three kings every single time, and close only counts in shuffleboard and landmines. Is it possible to hate the very thing you love? Possible to be full yet never get enough? Am I in the bottom while I'm climbing to the top? I'm about to get going, but I think it's time to stop. It's a simple life in a complex world. I want what's mine and you want what's yours. But when you're all by yourself and the money's all spent, are you gonna leave this world completely content? Are you gonna leave this world completely content? So I'm going to put away the Martin guitar for a few minutes, which is my newer guitar, and I'm going to pull out a family heirloom. So this is a Gibson, LG2, and it was made in '47, and my mom gifted it to my dad, and that's what this song is about. We had a big family, 8 kids. And I'm the second youngest. I'm the 7th out of 8. And this guitar has landed in my hands. It's the guitar I do a lot of writing on. I don't take it out of the house a lot because it's old. It's old like me. It's actually older than me. Anyway, this song is called Instrument of Good. It's not recorded yet. This is a brand new song. So here goes. Back in '47, it was a gift from my mom. My dad never learned to play a single song. Us kids took turns, some got good, some not so great. And it's here with the 7th son out of 8. Like the sympathetic ear of an old family friend, listens to the story, never gives away the end. More songs in it than I'll ever write or play. It's been a blessing either way. Mahogany and spruce, this Gibson LG2. Light gauge heartstrings, unlocking everything, hoping one day I could be an instrument for good. Brings us together round campfire flames, calling out injustice and taking names. Changed a few minds, made others pause to think, and it's always good company for a drink. Mahogany and spruce, this Gibson LG2. Sing it loud and clear, watch the visions disappear. Hoping one day I could be an instrument for good. For good. Made by hand in Kalamazoo. All these worn down fretboard grooves locked in the case, I can feel it resonate. It's 3 a.m., it's why I'm still awake. Now it guides me, shows which way to go. Some days takes the high road, some days the low. It can even make a bad song sound just fine. I should know it's banged out plenty of mine. Mahogany and spruce, this Gibson LG2. Holding family history, searching for the best of me. Hoping one day it could make me an instrument for good. For good. Oh, make me an instrument for good. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. I hope there's no like horrible storms where you are, wherever you are, or just oppressive heat. I know there's no terrible cold right now, but that'll be coming later in the year. I want to do another song from the new album, Love Never Rests. And as I said, I come from a big family. And I'm going to tune here real quick. I come from a family of 8. And I'm the 7th out of that group. And when you're the 7th out of 8 kids, you learn to observe. And you learn to follow sometimes. You follow because there's no waiting around. When everybody's going, they're going. As a little kid, I got left in Canada actually one time because we had a boat that we kept over in Canada. As a kid, it was not a big deal to go into Canada. It was 25 cents on the toll and a couple questions. But one day we were over there and everybody got in the car on the way back. My mom counted heads. There were 8 kids, and they drove off, only to realize they had left one of their kids behind because my sister brought a friend. And I was the one left behind, and I could actually see them in the yellow Ford station wagon driving over the bridge. And, I milked it. I milked it good. I was at this... with all my parents' friends, and they were like, oh, you poor thing, Do you want a Coca-Cola, which we were never allowed to have? Do you want some chips? Never allowed to have. So I had all those things, and, by the time they realized it, somebody from the yacht club got a call, and they said, yeah, they'll be back. There were no cell phones, obviously, in those days, so had to wait till they realized it, and then they came and got me. But as my brothers tell me, I have milked it for all it's worth, and there's a song on my first record called The Other Side, which describes the story. But I'm not going to do that one today. I'm going to do this instead, and it's called I Follow. I have to tune. I apologize. That is not gonna make it. There we go. I think that's good. So this is I Follow. Still not. I followed my sisters and brothers. I followed the temptation of others. Worked hard to fit in inside a different skin. I begged, stole and borrowed. Mostly I followed. Morning mass, a heathen acolyte. Heaven or hell, well, it could be either side. Said all my childhood confessions, not sure now about any of those lessons. I follow Stations of the Cross, gave credit for the wins, took blame for every loss, prayed that those wafers were actually the Savior. Cheap wine was the blood I swallowed. I served and followed. Cut off jeans and faded t-shirts, six-pack cigarettes, driving round the outskirts, wasting our lives, our futures, our pasts, hoping to death that the die had not been cast. I follow the dream we were sold, could not tell the truth from the lies we were told, tried to outrun things that I've done just to make it through tomorrow. Oh, I followed to avoid detection, hide my own reflection and acne-filled complexion, a guilt-ridden erection falling far short of perfection. Now I follow the road less traveled, turn by turn, the secret gets unraveled. I will follow, girl, to the ends of the earth. My soul no longer hollow. My heart I follow. Oh, I follow. My heart I follow. Oh, I follow. My heart I follow. So, Irish Catholic, altar boy, all kinds of guilt-ridden things showing up in that song, and that becomes kind of part of the fabric that I write about. I write a lot about family. And I'm going to do a couple songs now that are more in that vein, more from the family aspect. So the 8th of July is an important date in our household because it was my dad's birthday. My mom's birthday was May 1. So he just had a birthday. He lived a long, full life to 95. He wanted to make it to 100 because he's got a few centenarians in his family line. But he didn't make it. But we were thankful for all the 95 years he had that we were around. He was a dentist and an amateur photographer. But he also, toward the end of his life, maybe when he was about 80, he started having these vivid living dreams. And he would, sometimes he would tell us about them. Sometimes he would call us and ask us questions. And, you know, we weren't sure if he was, you know, cognizant or what, but he basically was describing his dreams. And this song is called Wrestling with Ghosts, and it's on an album I put out last year called Particles to Pearls. Well, he wakes up at night on the floor next to his bed with a cut on his arm and a lump on his head. Blanket is wrapped and tangled around his neck. You could hear him yelling, "Boy, I'll fight you instead." And sometimes he swears a dog sits in his room, breathing right on his face in the light of the moon. Or he's battling rats from under his sheets, keeps him awake, fills his darkest dreams. He ain't ready to leave, he ain't ready to go. He's just wrestling, he's just wrestling with ghosts. Wrestling with ghosts. He puts dinner on the table for my mom and him. She doesn't answer when he calls out again and again. He makes a report when policemen show. We have to remind him she died 10 years ago. No, he ain't ready to leave, he ain't ready to go. He's just wrestling, he's just wrestling with ghosts. Wrestling with ghosts. Nightmares so real, they tore at his pounding heart. He told me dealing with loss, well, that's the hardest part. Haunted by death of 2 kids and a wife, he found comfort in letters and cards later in his life. When at 95, his body finally gave in, went to be with my mom and the rest of his kin. His stories still live in the back of our minds. We'll hear them again on the other side. No, he ain't ready to leave, he ain't ready to go. He's just still wrestling, He's done wrestling. No, he ain't ready to leave. He ain't ready to go. He's done wrestling. He's done wrestling with ghosts. Wrestling with ghosts. So that's for my dad. By the way, you can, I really, again, have to thank Gary and Kathy and the folks at the Folk Project, New Jersey, for having me on here. There is a chat area. In the chat, you can check for info on how to make a donation if you would like to. The ticket tonight was free, but if you'd like to make a little contribution, that would be nice to get some new strings or something like that. Some gasoline for my next trip, which will be to Chicago next week. My next show is in Detroit and Ferndale, Michigan at a place called the Gazebo, and it features a young trio named Giacomo, which I'm really excited about. We rehearsed last night. I'm doing some of their songs. They're joining me on some of mine. They've been on all three of the last three records that I've made. They're a terrific band, but you can check out my website, psychosongs.com, and it's got my schedule, it's got music videos that mostly were made by my talented son, Danny, who's a filmmaker in New York. The one he did for Content was nominated for a Michigan Music Video Award this last year. It was a finalist, but it did not win. But it's still pretty great. This is another song from Particles to Pearls, and it's an amalgam story of someone who's been playing music on the road, in bars, all over the country. It's called Broken. Had broken teeth and broken strings. Had no more song left to sing. Been on the road since '76, playing mostly for drinks and tips. Drove a beat up old blue Chevy van. Slept in the back on some bags of sand. From El Paso up to Estes Park, well, he took his time making his musical mark. And you could hear him sing, I can't turn water into wine. Turn left when I should have turned right. I could turn the other cheek, turn myself in for being weak. Get the hell out of my own head. Make my peace where I make my bed. Where I make my bed. An awkward man never got close to anyone. Lyrics told the tale of a life on the run. Fell for freedom, never forgot the words to any song. Still couldn't remember what street he lived on. I got the words wrong. There I go with that verse. Sang Willie Whalen and some Buck Owens. When the going got tough, that's when he got going. Never forgot the words to any song, except those. Still couldn't remember what street he lived on. And you could hear him sing, I can't turn water into wine. Turn left when I should have turned right. I could turn the other cheek, turn myself in for being weak. Get the hell out of my own head. Make my peace where I make my bed. Where I make my bed. 2 packs a day and a cheap case of beer. He was running out of minutes, hours, and years. Found him face down, his lips were frozen blue. Was his final show at the Red Horseshoe. And you could hear him sing, I can't turn water into wine. Turn left when I should have turned right. I could turn the other cheek, turn myself in for being weak. Get the hell out of my own head. Make my peace where I make my bed. Where I make my bed. Where I make my bed. Well, there I go, forgetting the words, getting them mixed up. Well, I wanted to do this next song. This is for I did a song for my dad, and now I'm going to do a song for my mom. And it actually is written by her. She wrote the words to it. It's a poem called Sunday Morning. And as a big family, we had rituals, and this was our Sunday ritual in the summer. We had a motorboat. We went to Mass. We came home. And this was her poem. I didn't change any words. Sunday to Mass, then home for a treat. Breakfast is special, service is neat. Clean up and pack, beds made by the clock. Yellow car waiting to drive down to the dock. Ooh. Routine takes over. The boys hoist the boat. Girls mind the baby. Order by rote. Baskets on board, skipper in place. Motor is started. Slow now is the pace. Slow now is the pace. Slow now is the pace. Gone is the hurry, no more rush that day. Leisure takes over, we're underway. Family joy creates a bond. Parents are friends and the children, they respond. Oh, now they are gone, those joyous days. Love nurtured them, it eased our ways. Those Sundays still live in each member's heart. Keep us a family even though we're far apart. Oh, even though we're far apart. Even though we're far apart. So, about 2016, my wife and I had lived in the suburbs of Detroit for about 30 some years while we raised our kids. And but when we were first married, we had actually lived in downtown Detroit. We had lived in Detroit, Hamtramck, and we really enjoyed it. So when I retired, or approached retirement, and we were looking at a move once our kids were grown and onto careers, and we thought we'd like to be somewhere where we could walk and bike. And Detroit was it. Detroit, man, it's a great city. If you haven't been here, if you haven't experienced it, it's a marvelous city. It's got great restaurants. It's an easy city to get around. It's an easy city to bike, to walk, lots to do, lots to see, and the state of Michigan is amazing in itself. So with that, we moved downtown, and we kind of downsized. We went from a fairly good-sized condominium, about 3,300 square feet, down to 1,125 square feet. So we became compact, and that's what this song is about. It's about getting smaller, doing with less, and being compact. Got a compact car, whole lot easier to park. Fits in those hard-to-fit spaces, never a part of street drag races. Driving next to an SUV, well, I feel a little puny. It's good on gas, near and far. I got a compact car, oh yeah. Got a compact build, 5'5", still strong-willed. As a kid, I was sort of stocky, bad for hoops, good for hockey. Wished I was tall and thin and maybe a bit more significant. Old-fashioned sense, no frills. I got a compact build, oh yeah. I got a compact build. But I'm expanding my heart, stretching out my soul, letting my spirit span this entire earthly globe. Ain't gonna let this moment go. Got a compact disc. All it took was to take a few risks. Folks who believed in me, all my friends, my extended family. Got no vinyl or cassettes, nor many financial assets. Can anyone still play this? I got a compact disc. Oh yeah, I got a compact disc. Oh yeah, it's on the website with all the koozies and the t-shirts. Got a compact life. Some of you may wonder why. Downsized a few years ago. Here's what I've got to show. A smaller carbon footprint. A 43-year sacrament still makes me feel so alive. I got a compact life. Oh yeah. I got a compact life. With a compact car and a compact build, I got a compact life. With a compact disc in a compact world, I got a compact life. Compact home, compact wife. I love my compact life. So that's my last song for the night. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I have certainly enjoyed being here and being. I've just really enjoyed meeting Gary over the phone, talking with him, and I look forward to making a trip out to New Jersey at some point and seeing him in person. Anyway, you can follow me again on psychosongs.com. And just have a great night. Have a good rest of your week. Good rest of your summer. Thank you again all for tuning in. And that's going to be it. Thank you. And I'm not sure I'm turning it off yet or not. I think I've got a couple more minutes, actually. But I don't think I'm supposed to go off until 8. I didn't want to go over my time. I didn't want to keep anybody longer than they needed to be here. But I do travel quite a bit. I'm going to be in Chicago at Fitzgerald's on the 18th. And then I'm going up to Wawa, Ontario to play in the Wawa Festival. And then I'll be in Harbor Springs. And then I'll be back in Detroit for a little bit for a couple festivals in the Detroit area and Michigan area. So again, thank you all. And thank you, Gary. Thank you, Kathy. And I will see you again soon. Take care.